Thank you for joining us this evening at the for this particular screening of the WQED IQ Smartparent Teachable Moments series. The WQED educational team has been working on these teachable moments for over a year, producing these segments, and they are amazing. Oh, she's starting to share. Oh, there we go. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be screening the newest of these videos, and we hope that you enjoy them as much as we do. There are so many opportunities to learn at home with your kids, and that's what each one of these little vignettes is just a moment to kind of stop and think about and make connections for your kids and how we can transpose them into different learning opportunities. So we're going to look at these new videos tonight and then stop and talk about how we can use them at home. I'm Denice Pazuchanics, and I am a member of the WQED education team, as well as being a school librarian in Bethel Park. And Elaine Volpe is the children's librarian at Bethel Park Public Library as well. We coordinate a lot together and with WQED, and we're happy to be sharing this webinar with you as well. So what we're going to do is we want to be able to stop and talk about these videos, but really what we want to do is get right to the videos. If you have any questions about them and you want to add them into the chat, you can do that, or we'll also stop and talk and ask questions as well. So there are 5 teachable moment videos, and each one is about just a minute long. So if you haven't seen them, we're actually going to watch them together as well. We're going to watch the first 3, and then we're going to stop and talk for a second, and then we'll come back and hit up the last 2, and then talk and share some other resources that are available through WQED as well. Okay, so without that, we're going to go ahead and get started with the first of the 5 teachable moments.
Just give me the thumbs up to make sure that you can hear the videos when they start to play. My computer is giving me a little bit of grief.
Hi, my name is Melissa Unger. This is my teachable moment. Do you think it's possible to hold a book up in the air using something like these flimsy sheets of paper? Maybe if I take the paper and stack it on top of each other. If I put the book there, does it hold it up? No. What about if I use some tape and tape the paper to the table? Will it stand? No. But that does give me an idea. A table can hold really heavy things, right? What makes a table stand? What if I turn the paper into columns, like the legs of a table? Will it hold a book? When you build with columns, the weight of the book, or whatever is pushing down on the paper, spreads out so that each column holds a bit of the load. How much weight can you get the paper to hold?
IQ Smartparent Teachable Moments are funded in part by the Grable Foundation.
Hi, I'm Shimera Williams, Integrative Media Artist at TechStart, and this is my teachable moment.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry.
I want to talk to you about Tanagrams. They're one of my favorite puzzles. There are 7 pieces, and all you need is a square piece of paper. PBS has a Tanagram example on their website. Simply cut it out. In the end, you'll have 7 pieces. A parallelogram, a small triangle, a square, another small triangle, 2 big triangles, and 1 medium triangle. Now you can create anything. You can create all types of things. And the great thing is, even if you don't have a printer at home, you can make your own. All you need is a square piece of paper. The only limit is your imagination.
IQ Smartparent Teachable Moments are funded in part by the Grable Foundation.
This is Lo from Venture Outdoors. What I'm going to do is show you how to build a survival shelter for my little friend right here. I remember the words bliss. Blend in, low to the ground, insulated, safe, and secure. So I'm going to use this tree to help support all of the sticks that I'm going to put up here. And I gathered twigs and branches. I also put a whole bunch of leaves on the outside. Not only will that help the shelter be blended into the environment, but it's also going to provide insulation for my stuffed animal as the temperatures get colder. When I'm all done, I'll take all these branches and leaves and put them back where I found them. This is something that you can do in your backyard, in the woods. This is even something that you can do inside.
IQ Smart Parent Teachable Moments are funded in part by the Grable Foundation.
So
Hi.
So I could not love these 3 videos more. I think that, and if as a teacher, if you would have asked me about 3 easy to teach concepts and easy to practice at home with kids concepts, I don't know if I would have come up with this list, but I wish I would have, because it really is amazing. I think that what is so special about them is that they all use materials that you have at home. And so it's nothing that you have to go out and get. It's nothing that you have to go out and buy. I mean, it really is all about just exploring things that you already have at home. How simple is that paper table? But yet to see kids operate with that paper table, that really is amazing. I've taught kids, or we've had lessons where I give them paper and say, make a table. And what they come up with is sometimes not really as durable as the one that she made on that video, right? I mean, they're trying to cut the paper, they're trying to fold the paper, they're trying to do all kinds of things with the paper, and then it doesn't work. Because what they're trying isn't really going to work. They cut it and then try and paste it back together, whatever. But seeing how simple it is to teach them the concept of the columns, and how easy it is for them to be able to then be so successful at piling all of those books on top of those columns is amazing. And watching it click with them, because I do a lot of STEAM lessons, which is really what that is. And it is all about making a connection so that you can use it later on. So yes, that paper column table is a good start. But then when we build towers, or we build bridges, or we keep expanding on that, the fact that they remember to use those columns with a stronger base really does apply, and they will continue to use that concept later on. So it's not also going to work the very first time. Like I said, if you give a kid a piece of paper and say, let's make a table, you're going to be very surprised at what you see. It's going to be a folded piece of paper standing up on 2 legs that can't hold anything. So it's about understanding, because that's sort of the other thing that you're teaching with these teachable moments is the growth mindset, because the growth mindset is kind of explaining to kids that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to try again. It's okay if it doesn't work the very first time. And so all 3 of those teachable moments also do that as well. When the Tanagram doesn't fit together like they think it's going to, or it's harder to make that picture than they think it's going to be, teaching and practicing the growth mindset is also something that comes out of these teachable moments, because it's something else that you are introducing to them, even if they don't realize it. All of these teachable moments also have something else in common. They actually also are teaching the design and engineering process, which is a lot of big words that little kids don't really understand. But once we model it for them, it is vocabulary that they do then start to use on their own. The engineering and design process is all about creating and planning and testing and drawing and then starting again. And we do that whenever you're using the Tanagrams or you're trying to build that shelter. And those words, those vocabulary words, are just seeds that we're planting. So these teachable moments are, again, only just to kind of give us some ideas. There's lots of other things you probably have at home, and those are all things that you can work with as well. If you've ever given a kid a stack of plastic cups and said, hey, what do you think we can build with these? I mean, I am amazed at how long they will play with plastic cups. They will build it up. They will knock it down. They will try something else. They will start with a tower. They will make a pyramid. I mean, having those plastic cups, just giving them those opportunities to make those connections and say, well, how can we make it stronger? Or yes, that's a great tower, but let's knock it down and let's try it again. Those processes are like the seeds that we are planting. There's, sticky notes. the things that you can do with a sticky note, build a bridge, or make a pattern, and again, things that you will have at home, and make it easy to just kind of get that idea in their head that it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to try again, but kind of also using those words from the engineering and design process. When my kids were little, my kids are 30 now, but when my kids were little, my father-in-law had a box of PVC pipe at his house. And I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I made fun of it. I thought, what in the world with a big box of different pieces of PVC pipe? And I would say to my husband, like, we could just get them a box of Legos over there. But it wasn't about the Legos. It was about the PVC pipes and the things that my kids would make over there with balls and rolling and designing and big towers and using all the pieces. And it was, I mean, he was way before his time, because I'm pretty sure you can buy PVC pipe toys now that cost like $1 million. And he probably got them from Home Depot for about $5. And he just cut them into different pieces and let them play with them. And to this day, my kids still talk about them. They love them. So that's the kind of things that we have at home. There's one more thing that all of these things have in common, and it's about having the patience and time to work with your kid. Because none of those things, it's about being able to kind of set the stage for them and provide the material. But I know as a parent, when you have sticky notes all spread out all over your floor, or you've got cups that you have to like pick up and put away, and that's the patience and time that it takes to be able to use those things, to learn with those things, and then be able to put them away. So if you can do that, the good news is you can't mess it up. It's just giving them an opportunity, and it's letting them sort of build and create and build their own confidence level as well. And those are the important things that we're really trying to teach with these teachable moments. So those are my 3 teachable moments, and Miss Elaine is going to talk about the last 2. Unless you have any, does anybody have any comments?
How to draw a rabbit.
Questions? Oh, sorry, Joe. Anybody have any questions? All right, I think we're ready.
We're going to start with a few letters. Then we're going to add a period and a dash. Once upon a tune, there was an animal. Animal begins with the letter A. This particular animal loved to jump, put a J under the A. It liked to jump forwards, and it liked to jump backwards. It liked to jump everywhere. Everywhere begins with E. And it liked to jump every day. It liked to jump under, put a U under J. It liked to jump in. It could even do the 100-yard dash. Might like to jump over. Over begins with O, put an O over at the left of the A. Now this particular rabbit had very, very messy hair. Take the letter M over and over until it turns into a messy scribble. This rabbit was great, and everyone loved this rabbit. Now the reason everyone loved this rabbit was because this rabbit was so good. Letter G backwards to everyone, letter E backwards. This rabbit had a very fuzzy face that looked like this, and very long whiskers. And oh, what a good and great rabbit he was. And that's how to draw a rabbit.
IQ Smart Parent Teachable Moments are funded in part by the Grable Foundation.
Hi, my name is Andrea Redinger, and I'm a biology teacher at Greensburg-Salem High School. And this is my teachable moment. Bearded dragons are native to Australia. Australia is their home. Princess here is a reptile, an ectotherm. You may know them as cold-blooded animals. It's too cold where I live for Princess to make a home outside. What about these little guys? The hissing sound leads us to their names. These are Madagascar hissing cockroaches. They live close to bearded dragons on the island of Madagascar. Where I live, I can look out my window into my backyard and see deer, groundhogs, squirrels, and sometimes even bears. Now grab your family, go outside, and see what type of animal critters live in your neighborhood.
IQ Smart Parent Teachable Moments are funded in part by the Grable Foundation.
Okay, so we've actually had Joe Woes at our library before, and he is amazing. But I think it's really neat how he made that entire rabbit out of practically all letters, right? So we're learning that letters can be seen in a different kind of way. So I think that's all about observation, and which is really important, because observation and then taking what you observe and looking at it in a new way is really an important skill, because observation then leads to awareness, and I feel like awareness leads to understanding and also leads to curiosity. And I feel like curiosity is key to learning. So similar to what the biology teacher was saying, going outside and just discovering what's in your own backyard. I think if we truly take the time to become observant and aware of our surroundings, we can have a whole lot of creative fun, sure, just like Joe Woe showed us, but we can also learn so much too. So I like to encourage families a lot of times, not only to explore their backyard, like what's lurking under your porch or what's crawling around in your garden or what birds are visiting your yard, but to also, like, next time you're taking a walk around your neighborhood, to kind of turn it into a 5 senses walk or a listening walk. So you're really observing things in a new way, and you're taking the time, again, Denice mentioned, like taking that time and spending it truly with your child and having that patience. You're taking the time to maybe jot down either mentally and, you know, say the list aloud, or maybe on a pad of paper that you bring with you, but you're really taking note of maybe 5 things that you see, 5 things that you hear, 5 things that you smell on your walk, and 5 things that you can touch. Tasting's a little more difficult, so maybe you make it a 4 senses walk, but really just taking that time to observe and then discover, create, and learn, and be curious. I really, again, I think curiosity is the key to lifelong learning. Even as adults, we want to be constantly curious. And so if we can instill that into our children's minds at a very young age, we're doing them a great service. So I think, like Denice said, that first one was all about, you know, finding things around your home that you can build with and that you can explore with your child. I think the 2 videos, the last 2 that we just saw, speak more to observation and observing your surroundings and learning from that. And like I said, turning those observations and looking at them in a new light. So really important and really fun. Neat things that you can do with your family that don't take a lot of time, that don't cost any money at all, and that you can do every day. So same thing, I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments on those last 2 videos. We can certainly take some time to chat more about them.
I think that in both cases, it is a, like we said, the first 3 videos really do talk about building and creating and using the resources that you have at home. This nature activity toolkit does come with some extra supplies that are like binoculars and magnifying glasses, and what kid doesn't like stuff? So every kid's going to like the stuff that comes along with it for sure. But it is kind of funny how those first 3 videos really do kind of lay upon the working with your child and creating with your child. And like Elaine said, those second 2 really do kind of focus on the observations and taking the time, because in the end, it really is about the kids also, Elaine, that curiosity is a great word, but also making those connections so that later on they connect one thing to the other. And it is when you work with your child and you see those little light bulb moments go on and you can see that they're making those connections, that really is a magical moment, right? Like when you're doing something with your kid and they remember something that they've done before, or that they can see those little light bulb moments. They can see a letter A in a tree, or they're looking for letters someplace else in nature. Those moments really are priceless, and that's really what you want. You want those moments to occur. So this nature activity, each of these videos do come with a little resource guide that will give you some talking points while you're working with your child or talking with your child. But again, these are just jumping off points. All of them are just meant to be examples of things that you can do at home. Kathy or Gina or anybody else on the team, do you have something to add, or does anybody else have? Oh, thanks, Rachel. I guess everybody's going to get a kit no matter when they registered, so that's fabulous. There's some contact information there on that slide as well. If you have any other questions, you can email directly to the education team at WQED and they will answer. I guess this is going to be a series where there will be 5 more videos released, and I think the next video release is in the summer. Is that correct?
Actually, the teachable moments are released every other Monday, and the webinars will happen after every 5 teachable moments. So we will have new webinars coming out, and so that'll happen just about quarterly. So we have your email addresses from registration, so we can let you know when the next one is happening. And each of those webinars will also have an activity pack that goes along with one of the teachable moments.
I encourage you to check them out as they are released. I do think that they are very well done and well produced, and I actually look forward to seeing the rest of them as well.
Well, I'd like to thank you ladies, because I'm neither a teacher. I got thrust into having a child in my home because of the no school and her mother having to work. And she has 2 older siblings, but they have to concentrate on their education. So she was in 3rd grade, and I didn't work anymore. I didn't have anything to do. So I told her to come and stay with me, and we'd make it through 3rd grade. But my biggest problem wasn't even making it through 3rd grade. After I learned a couple new things, my biggest problem was her downtime. And her downtime was spent on a tablet. And I have all but threatened to take that tablet and probably throw it against the wall for a lack of any kind of what else can I do with her? And these ideas you've given me are you have no idea how valuable they're going to be. Now, we had started walking, and we used to do the vocabulary game with different kinds of things, you know, cars, colors, just so she would start thinking about things. But these ideas are awesome, and they are things that because all I have to do is devote time to her, I can do it. You know, we can put stickies all over the kitchen floor, and we can step on stickies, and it's okay. My house is sort of different from her house because she's the only one. So I greatly appreciate this. I almost missed it. She actually left this evening to go spend time with her mom. And I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, oh my goodness, Maggie, 7 o'clock, you have something you're supposed to be doing. So I truly, truly need you to know how much I have appreciated this. I look forward, we're going to be spending the weekend together, but we're going away to visit my son. But I can't wait to get back home now, because I have some things to try with her and some things to talk about. So I just want you to know that it was greatly appreciated. This is greatly appreciated.
Well, Maggie, I have to say that you are a warrior. I mean, everything that you described, that is amazing. And you are an amazing lady for sure. She's lucky to have you in her life.
We are lucky to have each other, believe me, because I can just see me I'm the couch potato person. You know, everybody else is talking about being in their house for COVID. And I'm like, this is cool. I don't have to go out. I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't even have to go to the grocery store. And I know that sounds strange, because I really do like people. I was in retail for over 40 years, okay? So I do like people. But once, you know, this opportunity became available, I really tried to just put everything into her. But this is going to allow me to put more into her. I cannot thank you guys enough. I have to thank my school for letting us be aware of it. And then I have to thank the good Lord for reminding me. Oh my gosh, it was like 6:59, and I'm sitting here going, so thank you. This is awesome.
Well, you are very welcome, and I'm sure it will be well used.
Yes, it will be, I promise. And I look forward to getting information so that I can remember to come back on and do this again. But I thank you. This is great. Thank you.
Well, you are very welcome. Thank you.
I did want to mention really quick, if there's other questions and comments, please share. Maggie, thank you so much for sharing. That was inspirational. But also, if anybody tries any of these activities at home and you end up taking pictures of you with your littler ones trying some of these ideas, you can send them to that email address on the screen, and we would love to share them on our social media. So you could look for yourself on the WQED education webpage. We would be happy to share and let others know what you're working on. So, and we would love to hear if you have ideas or any feedback whatsoever. Because we are doing these teachable moments, it's a 2-year project. We can shape how the new ones come out. So if you have some great ideas or there's things that you've done at home with your little ones using some of the materials around your house, please share those with us as well.
All right. I think that, or is that it for the evening then, Kathy? Should we be wrapping up?
We can, yes, unless anybody has any other questions or comments. I don't know if anybody wants to drop them in the chat if they don't want to share or unmute themselves, but that is it for the evening, yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you back on the next one. Enjoy your little ones.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take
Thanks,
care.
everybody.